Good morning, everyone. I'd ask at this time that we please stand for the presentation of colors and remain standing for our national anthem.
March. Group, halt. Left, peace. Present, colors. Right, peace. Column right, march. Mark time, march. Group, halt. Right, peace. Ready. Post, colors. Present, halt. Order, halt. Left, peace. Mark time, march. Forward, march.
Please be seated. Good morning. I have some very special guests that are going to join me on stage right now, so if they would please come forward. I would like to give them a great big hand. We've got the high school cheerleaders from all three high schools. That's all right. My name is Dr. Lance Stout, and I'm proud to serve as your Deputy Superintendent of Schools. As I begin my 14th year in the ISD, I can honestly say that what makes this district so special is the people, all of you in this room. It's the camaraderie. It's the willingness to help a colleague. It's the pride you take in our schools and the support you extend whenever someone needs it. Most of all, it's a sense of family that can be felt throughout our district. That's why I genuinely love the ISD, and I'm grateful to begin another school year alongside each and every one of you. If you're new to our district this year, would you please stand? Let's give them a warm welcome. Welcome to our wonderful family. Alrighty, this morning we're going to kick things off a little bit differently, so I'll kind of explain the rules. Fight songs. We're gonna have some fight songs this morning, and everybody's going to participate. So here's how it works. If you teach at that school, if you teach at a feeder school, if you're an alumni, when I call upon your school, we want you standing. If you're new and you have no clue, pick out a school, stand, and let's cheer. And our goal this morning is to lift the roof off this beautiful facility. And I watched these girls present yesterday and perform, and our band behind us, and they'll do a great job, so it's upon all of you guys and gals to get this thing going. So we're gonna kick off with William Crispin High School. So alumni, staff, Nowlin staff, all the feeder schools, let's set the bar high. Here we go, Coach Sisko. All right, the bar has been set pretty high. Van Horn. I believe Van Horn High School is the home of the 2025 3A boys Class 3A state championship soccer team. Is that correct? All right, let's see what you guys got. All right, last but certainly not least, Truman High School. Truman folks, stand up. Again, if you haven't stood at this point in time, you need to be standing. All right, Coach Meyer, let's see what you guys have. That was awesome. Let's give everybody a great big hand. Thank you, all of you, for everything you do for our students, our families, and one another. Every role matters, every person makes a difference, and it takes all of us working together to make this district the special place that it is. Welcome back and have a wonderful year, and it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Pam Boatwright to the stage.
Are our band directors still here?
We got two of the three. We lost one. We'll tell them later. Okay.
Our directors have worked. Come on over. We need to give them a round of applause. Well, if you're not pumped yet, you better get another cup of coffee. So good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce our board members in attendance today. If you would please hold your applause till the very end. Our Board of Education President, Anthony J. Mondane. Vice President, Wendy Baird. Treasurer, Brandy Parente. Director, Jill Esri. Director, Carrie Dixon. Director, Sarah Wimberly. And Director, Justin Durham. Please give them a round of applause. Now our special guests, please stand if you are able. Independence Mayor, Kevin King. City Council Member, Heather Wiley. Independence Fire Chief, Jimmy Walker. Sugar Creek Mayor, Michael Larson. Sugar Creek Chief of Police, Chris Soule. Former Mayor, Eileen Ware. Valerie Burns with the Chamber of Commerce. Missouri State Representative, Will Jobe. Former board member, Blake Roberson. And former board member, Denise Fears. Please help me in giving all of these individuals a round of applause. Thank you for everything that you do to serve the students, families, and the staff of the Independent School District. Now, I would like to welcome our board president, Anthony J. Mondane.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Good morning. Before I share what I've prepared to share, I want to say greetings from the Board of Education and thank you all for being here. Now, I appreciate the applause that you gave me, but at this time I would like for you to applaud yourselves sincerely. Give yourselves a round of applause. Now, that was okay for me. I asked you to applaud yourselves. So get some charisma and celebrate all the hard work you've done and are about to do. Now that's how you celebrate and start a school year. I know some of you spent your summer resting, and most of us spent our summers being committed not to responding to those emails we said we would not. But we did it anyway. Either way, welcome back. I stand before you today not just your board president. I stand before you today a product of this district, Van Horn High School. Class of 2009. Yeah, the first graduating class of the new Van Horn in ISD. I graduated the student council president that year, and I'm thankful to see some familiar faces still around. And I have to say, when I was in high school, it was quite different. I was in Kansas City, Missouri School District from 6th grade to my 11th grade year. My senior year, it all changed. All of the people I knew, all the relationships I built, it was different, like that. And I just want to say thank you to the leaders at that time that helped transition, specifically those leaders that inspired me, a young black boy hoping to make a difference. Dred Scott, Dr. Dred Scott. Dr. Jesse Rivers, Associate Principal, Van Horn High School. And there's one more, and I'm really dedicated not to crying, okay? So y'all work with me. But he's here today. And although my brother was on your football team and you had him on your squad, you may not have known that you inspired me too. So Greg Smith, Coach, thank you. I want to tell you that I sat where the students are sitting, like many of you did too. I walked those same hallways. I had good days, I had bad days. I experienced successes, I experienced moments where the road ahead wasn't very clear. But somewhere along that road, somebody believed in me. I believed in me. And one person in particular who believed in me made a lasting impression on my life. And although he's no longer with me here, his legacy, his work continues to live and thrive through me. And I would love for him to be in the audience, but he's not. He's in my heart. He's my grandfather, Terry Williams. Thank you. My mother is with me, my wife is with me, and my beautiful children, and my younger brother, Corey, proudly serves our military. He's here with me. I've been given a time limit, and I want to stick to that. I'm also a preacher. No excuse, no excuse, no excuse. On the last days of my grandfather's life, he was in the end stages of renal failure. I would take him to dialysis weekly. And this particular day, he was moving rather slow. And he's been with me every step of the way. He's my hero. And all my life, People told me I was wise beyond my years. I am before my time. I really didn't know what that meant, but it felt good. And so I asked my grandfather, who was the living Bible to me. He was the living encyclopedia to me. I asked him, I said, do you believe what people say about me? That I am before my time? I knew that the answer to this question was going to change my life, good or bad. He was going to tell me the truth. That is one thing he committed to. He was going to tell me the truth, good, bad, or indifferent. And he said, no, you're not before your time. And my heart broke. And he began to get out of my Chevy Silverado at that time. And I could only see his back. And he stopped. He said, son, you are right on time. Right on time. I've discovered that belief sometimes needs someone else to initiate it for you until you learn how to believe in yourself. And that's what educators do. That's what we do. In whatever capacity we fulfill in this district, we give kids hope. Every morning you walk into these buildings, you carry three things: a key, a lesson, and a future. The key connects to the classroom. The lesson connects to the mind. But your belief, it connects to a child's future. And we all have that in our possession. Because, see, every child that walks through our doors, they're carrying an invisible backpack. Some carry confidence, some carry fear, some carry grief, some carry hunger, some carry circumstances that would break our hearts if we knew the full and whole story. We may never know everything inside of that backpack, but I know we can make it lighter. A kind word can make it lighter. Patience can make it lighter. A teacher saying, I believe in you, can make it lighter. And sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, hope weighs less when we share the load with someone who cares. And that's why I want to share something personal today. Recently, I was told that I should stop mentioning that I'm the first black person ever elected to public office in this city's history. I was told it doesn't matter anymore. It's not important. I'm here to tell you that it does matter, and it is important. There was a time in our state's constitution that it required separate schools for black children and white children. Brown versus Board of Education declared segregated public schools unconstitutional in 1954. That's 72 years ago. Yet Missouri didn't remove that language from its constitution until 1976. Let me put this in perspective. That's 15 years before I was born. That's why it matters. And when Missouri finally voted to remove that language, more than 442,000 Missourians voted in favor to keep it. Think about that. So when I stand before you today as the first black person ever elected to public office in this city's history, and now as president of this Board of Education, I don't tell you that because history belongs to Anthony. I tell you it because history belongs to the children and people coming behind me. It belongs to every child who's wondered, is there a place for me? It belongs to every child Whoever looked at a door and wondered, is there a space for me in that place? Every child who's ever dreamed a dream bigger than their circumstances surrounding them. It matters. Representation matters. Progress matters. And the truth about where we've come from and how far we still have yet to go, it matters. My election did not erase history, it became a part of it. And if one child, one person can look at me standing here and see a possibility they couldn't see yesterday, then yes, it all matters. And it always will. But hear me, and hear me clearly. I'm not the only person in this room who can show a child what's possible. Every one of us can. Because history isn't only made behind this podium. History is made in the classroom, on the buses, in the cafeteria, on the playgrounds. History happens when one caring adult looks at one hopeful child and says, I believe in you. Don't give up. So independence, I need your help. When I say for every child, I want everyone in here to say, inspire greatness. So let's give it a try. For every child, for every child who thinks that they cannot, for every child searching for hope, for every child carrying the invisible backpack, for every child waiting for someone to believe in them, and for the last time, for every child in our sight. Someone's going to leave here, thank you. Someone's going to leave here today and remember a speech. Others will remember a moment. But my hope is that someone leaves here today remembering who they are. Maybe you've questioned whether you belong. Maybe you've wondered whether you still have what it takes. Maybe this past year took something from you. Maybe you've been waiting for permission to dream again. Well, let today be your permission to dream again. I've heard comments all my life about Anthony. Look at him. Look at how he dresses. He's so full of himself. He's so full of himself. He's so full. Yeah, I've heard it all my life. And it used to really bother me. I would cry to my mother, why don't they like me? Why don't they understand that I just want to show up and represent well for everybody? But those days are over. I decided that I'm done begging for belief in what God has put in me already. I've decided I'm just going to be full. I've decided that I am going to just be full. In fact, I'm going to overflow. I'm not going to stop at full. I'm going to overflow so that you can be full, you can be full, we can be full. Let's be full together. And then let's watch it now, watch it. I can take this to a whole nother level, okay? Let's be full for the children that we inspire. They deserve our full. They deserve our overflow. I'm full of happiness. I'm full of joy. I'm full of hope. I'm full of peace, purpose, gratitude, courage, and strength. A lot of strength. A lot of strength. And yes, I'm full of the belief that tomorrow is going to be better than today. I've learned that you cannot pour into somebody else when you've allowed the world to convince you that you should be empty. ISD, we need you full. Our children need you full of patience, compassion, creativity, courage, and love. So don't shrink yourself this year. Be full, because we have children depending on that overflow. And that's what my story is. It's not look at me. It's look at what's possible. Look at what can happen when you believe. And that is what I want every child in Independence to know. You're not limited by your circumstances that you were born into. You're not imprisoned by somebody else's expectations. Your beginnings do not have the authority to determine your ending. There are doors you haven't walked through. There are dreams you haven't even dreamed yet. And somewhere in this district, in our classrooms, there's a future teacher, a future superintendent, scientist, entrepreneur, mayor, board president. They're in our classrooms. And they may not know it yet, but you might be the person to help them see it. As I come to a close, some will remember this moment as just another convocation. Some will remember this moment as just another speech. But somebody in this room will remember this as the day that they decided to believe again. To believe again. Believe in our children. Believe in one another. Believe in this district. And believe that the greatest days of the ISD are not behind us. They are ahead. Now, if you believe that, you ought to act like it. Let's go teach. Let's go serve. Let's go believe. Let's go change lives. And let's inspire greatness. Thank you. Thank you. At this time, I will introduce Board Vice President Wendy Baird.
Thank you. And talking about inspiring greatness, this morning we are pleased to recognize our employees who have served our school district for 25 consecutive years. When I call your name, please come forward and join us on stage. You ready to greet? All right. Pam Foliani. I think you're giving out the presents, right? You're giving out Lisa Hickman. Kirk Hollenbeck. Herbert Horseman. Scott McQuarrie. Sarah Nelson. Tasha Newcomer. Do basketball. Sandra Roberts. Erica Smith. Kristen Nowak. I said it wrong. Nowak. Sorry. Oh, there she is. Oh, sorry. There she is. And I said that wrong, right? It's Nowak, right? Nowak. My apologies. Sage Arnold. And Michelle Smith. To each of our recipients today, I bring to you a heartfelt thank you on behalf of the Board of Education for your years of service to the students and families of the Independent School District. Thank you for believing in what we do and what we can accomplish together. Let's congratulate these dedicated staff members for their hard work, commitment, and infectious smiles, which have graced and benefited our team for many years. Happy 25th anniversary in the ISD. And now, I'd like to introduce Teacher of the Year, Stephanie Shepard-Keck, and welcome her to the stage.
Good morning. Welcome to the 2026-27 school year. I hope everyone had some time this summer to relax and recharge in preparation for the new year. The beginning of the school year always reminds me of a new book filled with excitement, anticipation, and possibilities all wrapped up in the first few pages. Sometimes it's easy to judge a new book by those beginning words without giving the plot a chance to fully develop. I myself have been guilty of this. Fortunately, there have been times in my life when I have been curious and allowed the story to fully evolve. Today is one of those days I have taken the time to be thoughtful and excited about all this new year brings. I have also taken the time to reflect on those who have supported me on this journey to be the best educator that I could possibly be. I would like to take the time to appreciate some of those people. I would like to thank the amazing, hardworking staff of Randall Elementary. I would not be standing here today without their care and encouragement. I would also like to thank my family, who has always supported my classroom with whatever it has needed to be successful. It's important to be surrounded by individuals in our profession who are curious and always learning. I am fortunate to work with a group of educators who are both positive and brilliant. These coworkers provide me with the tools to start each day with a can-do attitude. I personally wouldn't know what to do without this group of leaders. So why do we need curiosity in our daily lives? It's very easy to make assumptions in our daily lives when we are bombarded by information, misinformation, in our day-to-day responsibilities. Without even thinking, we can make assumptions about our students, our colleagues, our families, and even ourselves sometimes. Curiosity allows us to replace these misconceptions with understanding. Ted Lasso's quote, "Be curious, not judgmental," has become mainstream by the famous Ted Lasso dart scene. In this scene, Ted Lasso is challenged to a game of darts by Rupert Munyon, who assumes that Ted is out of his league. As Ted calmly throws his darts, he shares a story about growing up. Ted recalls that when he was a kid, his father took him to a sports bar every Sunday from the ages of 10 to 16. While the adults watched football, Ted played darts for hours. These countless afternoons made him exceptionally skilled, even though no one in the room could have guessed it. Then Ted goes on to say, "Guys have underestimated me my entire life, and for years I never understood why. It used to really bother me. But then one day I was driving my little boy to school, and I saw this quote by Walt Whitman. It said, 'Be curious, not judgmental.'" Ted continues, "So I get back in my car and I'm driving to work. All of them fellows that used to belittle me, not one of them were curious." He goes on to explain to the group that if they had been curious instead of judgmental, they might have asked him a question like, "Have you played a lot of darts, Ted?" To which Ted would have answered, "Yes, sir." Instead, the group assumed they already knew everything about him. Ted finishes the game by hitting the winning bullseye, proving his point without arrogance. This story is much more than about winning a game. It is a lesson about curiosity, humility, and not underestimating people. Although this story and its quote are a work of fiction, it is a great example of how changing your perspective can change an entire situation and lead you on a journey of changing your mindset from being fixed and judgmental to that of being open and curious. As I close today, I am challenging you to begin the year asking, what stories haven't I heard yet? What strengths haven't I discovered yet? And most importantly, how can I choose curiosity today? And not just asking these questions of your students, but being curious about those you work with every day. This year, may we choose questions over assumptions, grace over criticism, and curiosity over judgment. Because when education remains curious, students become courageous. Let's make this a year where every child and every adult feels seen, valued, and believed in. Have a great school year. Now let's celebrate our other outstanding teachers and pass the banners. All 25-26 teacher nominees, please come to the stage with your banners. All 26-27 teacher nominees, please come to the stage. Please pass your banners. Congratulations again to all of our Teachers of the Year. You may return to your seats. Now I'd like to introduce Trina Chase, our Classified Employee of the Year.
Guys are going to make me cry. The love in this room. All right. I am truly honored to be the 2026 Classified Employee of the Year. I want to say I accept this on behalf of all of our classified employees who give their time, talent, and heart to our schools every day. I'd like to thank each of my home schools and each of our home schools. I know that I am not alone when I say that the wonderful people in our individual buildings make our job easier to do. First, thank you to my home schools, to my Spring Branch team. If you know, you know. And to my original home of Little Blue, you guys will always have a piece of my heart. To my fellow nurses and health services team, you ladies have the biggest heart and most creative ways of letting hurting people know, I'm sorry this happened to you. I'm here. We're going to get through this together. To my family, thank you for your constant encouragement and love. I also want to honor the educators that have come before us, school staff. School was my saving grace as a child. My dad was a Vietnam vet, and he suffered from bipolar depression and PTSD. My mom traveled and worked a lot. She was unavailable. So I learned to get myself up in the mornings and get to school. It was the adults in the buildings, teachers, secretaries, bus drivers, nutrition service workers, who gave me safety, community, and a sense of belonging. I used to think that they didn't know what my home life was like, but after becoming a school nurse and spending some time with some awesome ISD teachers, I think they did. Somehow, teachers, they just know. Those early experiences shaped a simple question I ask myself with every child who comes into my clinic. Will I check in or check out? How can I stand in the gap for this child? What small action can I take to make this day a little bit better? I've made my own share of mistakes. I've hurt people. I've said things I regret. I've been unloving. My daughter is joining the Blackburn staff this year, and she can tell you I have many transgressions on the highway. Just ask her, she'd love to tell you all about them. As I said, many transgressions, many things I need to apologize for. And I'm thankful for the forgiveness that I've received through Jesus for all of my transgressions. I'm working to extend grace to others. When we extend forgiveness to one another, we create space for growth, learning, and change. That's a beautiful place for all of us to be. As we start this new school year, I encourage each of you to reconnect with your why. Remember those who have helped you along the way. Find a small daily habit that centers you. Look for inspiration in simple things. Because your place at ISD matters. Who you are becomes the heart of who we are at ISD.
So now, let's celebrate our outstanding classified employees of the year and pass the banners. All 25-26 employees nominees, please come to the stage with your banners. Oh, thank you. Hey, girl. Thank you. Scoot down just a little bit. Scoot down just a little bit. Yeah, keep scooting down. There you go. And now let's have all of our 26 classified employees of the year come to the stage. All right, please pass the banners and let's send another round of congratulations to our excellent classified employees of the year. All right, thank you. You may be seated.
Please join me. Please join me in a moment of silence as we remember and honor the members of the ISD family that we lost this past year. Thank you. Good morning, ISD. After a powerful storm, thousands of starfish had been washed onto the beach. As the tide receded, they were left stranded in the sand. A young boy began running along the shoreline, picking up one starfish at a time and gently throwing it back into the ocean. An older man watched for a while before saying, "There are thousands of starfish on this beach. You can't possibly save them all. What difference could you possibly make?" Without skipping a beat, the boy picked up another starfish, tossed it into the water, and replied, "I made a difference to that one." As educators, that story reminds us that our work is about serving others. One conversation, one act of kindness, one opportunity, and one student at a time. The Starfish Award honors someone who believes that every single day. Every organization has those rare individuals whose impact reaches far beyond their job description. They quietly make everyone else's work easier, solve problems before most of us even know they exist, and never seek recognition for the countless ways they serve others. This year's recipient is one of those people. This individual has served as a district substitute, worked in a variety of elementary, middle, and high school buildings. They are humble, kind, genuine, and completely selfless. Their success is not measured by the recognition they receive, but by the success they help others achieve. This individual has become one of the district's most trusted resources in how they work alongside staff and help troubleshoot a multitude of situations. Because of their support, this person has empowered countless staff members to do their jobs more effectively. When challenges arise, this individual never asks, "Is this my job?" Instead, they simply step in. This individual consistently puts others' needs before their own and is willing to fill in whatever role is needed, like helping troubleshoot Canvas, create a PowerPoint, or even driving a bus route. As they approach their roles with a servant's heart, they also have a keen ability to share some epic dad jokes along the way. While there are many deserving people in this room, this year's recipient truly embodies the spirit of this award. It is my great honor to announce this year's Starfish Award goes to Sage Arnote. Sage, on behalf of the ISD, thank you for the tremendous difference that you make for students, staff, and our community. Congratulations.
Watch the rising of the sun, the shadows start to run. Standing at the start of something great. See the hope that lines the sky, and we'll let it be our guide. I won't close my eyes. If we hold on tight, we'll keep going till we reach new heights, going further than we ever thought we could. We're on to something good. We won't let go. We'll keep pushing through the highs and lows, going further than we ever thought we could. We're on to something good. Every second that it takes is a sign we're on the way. Wait to the rhythm of the moment that we're making. The silver lining we'll find is worth the waiting. I think we're on to something good. If we hold on tight, we'll keep going till we reach new heights. Going further than we ever thought we could. We're on to something good. We won't let go. We'll keep pushing through the highs and lows. Going further than we ever thought we could. We're on to something good. On to something good. That lines the sky. We'll let it be our guide. And if we hold on tight, we'll keep going till we reach new heights. Going further than we ever thought we could. Yeah, we're on to something good. We won't let go. We'll keep pushing through the highs and lows. Going further than we ever thought we could. Yeah, we're on to something good.
I have the honor to introduce and welcome Celestine Matthews from Van Horn to the stage to introduce our superintendent, Dr. Murillo.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Celestine Matthews. I'm a junior at Van Horn High School. Go Falcons! It's my pleasure to introduce our superintendent, Dr. Vicki Morello. This is Dr. Morello's first year serving as superintendent of the ISD, and we are excited to welcome her to our school community. Dr. Morello is a proud graduate of Van Horn High School. Did I mention that was the best high school in the district? She understands the value of public education and the impact that dedicated educators have on the lives of students. Serving in a variety of roles, Dr. Morello has dedicated more than 40 years to education and is passionate about helping students like me succeed. As our superintendent, she is committed to listening, building strong relationships, and working alongside our staff to ensure every student has the opportunity to learn, grow, and thrive. Dr. Morello has been married to Pastor Willie Morello for 39 years, and they are proud parents of 2 adult children and grandparents to 2 grandchildren. Please join me in giving a warm ISD welcome to our superintendent, Dr. Morello.
Well, good morning. How about this morning? Wow, what a start. How about Celestine? Is she not an incredible young lady? I know what the future looks for her. It looks bright, and I'm excited for her. Amen. Well, as I begin this morning, I also want to recognize our board. Thank you very much for being with us today. Thank you for being a part of this day. And we have a tremendous board that cares about students, they care about you, and they care about our school community. And when you have board members that see schools at the center of our work and every decision we make, we're on the right road. And I'm really excited for that. I also want to recognize and introduce so you can get a little glimpse of this gentleman that's put 39 years in with me. I know with Miss Clairol, I don't look like I've been here 40 plus years in education. But if my husband, William Murillo, would stand, I would like to welcome him, give honor. I will not deny or confirm that I put those gray hairs on his head, but I'm sure I put him through quite a bit. And then also I have the fortunate of having my beautiful daughter Victoria Adelito Ovida with me this morning. If you would please stand and welcome. So on the next picture, I thought I'd show you a glimpse of my family so you could see. There where I have my son also, William. His name is William Brandon Nicolai Morello, and his wife, Brittany Morello. And those are our two grandchildren. They are William, so we're on number 3 William, and William Morello, and he will be turning 3 this year. He has blonde hair and blue eyes, and it is very curly and wild. For a while, it looked like he had an afro coming out, so we finally decided to cut it. And then our youngest is Isabella, and she is brown hair, blue eyes. So we're just super excited because Grandma has blue eyes. So my children had brown, and of course Willie is brown-eyed. And so to have them taking after grandmother, I'll say only on my side of the family, we're super excited about the attraction of having grandchildren. And then as you can see below, that is our 4-legged daughter. My children now say Gracie Lou is the most important person in my life. And but we have a really good time together, and I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to be here with you in Independence. Independence meant a lot to me growing up. I grew up by Mount Washington Elementary, and then in that time, Nowlin was a junior high, and then I went to Van Horn. And just remembering back in those days, when you had a bike, you had freedom. I rode that bike everywhere. I mean, to the Sugar Creek Pool, that was my main drag all summer long, right? And so just had so much fun and growing up in Independence, and very thankful for my time, even though we were a part of the Kansas City schools, being able to hang out at Chrysler Stadium and watch the baseball games in the summer. And going up to, I think it was Teresa's Drive-In back then that we were running around to, and up to Texas Tom's. You remember all those routes that you took through Fairmount up to McCoy Park, and just driving there. So it feels like I'm home. Sometimes I can remember the street names, and sometimes I don't. But if I can get a landmark, that's what I tell the cabinet all the time. Give me a landmark, and I can get to where I need to go or visualize where the school is. And so before I continue and get into a short time with you this evening, I also want to recognize my cabinet. If you would please stand and let me thank you for your work today to put this together. Didn't Alicia Chavez and her do a wonderful job today? Thank you. Alicia got the support of our admins in the cabinet level to help her, but I'll tell you what, this was Miss Chavez's first convocation, and Alicia, stand up again so everybody can see you, because Alicia pulled this together for us. With Alicia and I both being new, we didn't know what we didn't know until we got rolling into this and did the best we could, and she did a great job taking care of that for me. So if I can go on to the next slide for me, please. I want to do a few district celebrations with you. As I started looking at Independence and digging through your data, I was looking at areas and how well you're doing, and the support that I could possibly bring and make good better, and really build upon the good work and the great things that are going on in the independent schools. And these are a few celebrations that I just wanted to walk through with you this today to celebrate with you. Next slide. I don't get to drive this, so I'm giving up control. I don't have a clicker. So really, when we look at this one, the MAP assessment, we did see growth. Even though we're looking at it and you may think, oh my goodness, ELA was 34.4, mathematics was 31%, and science was 34%. You may look at that and go, I know what your CSEP says. Your CSEP says we're going to be at the state level or higher. And we're just beginning. If you heard that song I picked out for our video, we're on to something good. We won't let go. We won't turn back. We're going to keep pressing forward. So this year, we're looking at what goals will look like. And I know each one of your building principals are coming back and really talking about instruction. And I'm going to get to that in a few minutes. But still, even though you look at these, you made progress. And that's the only way we get better, is we make progress. We continue to work and teach and provide that opportunity for our students to grow in those academic areas. So you should feel really good. Your buildings, each one of you know where you were and where you ended and what our next level is. Next slide, please. Attendance, very, very good here. You went from 74% the year before to 78.9. That's great. Good job. Next slide. The next one is your four-year graduation rate. You went from 92.2% in 2025 to 94.9%. Way to go. On the next slide, we're looking at our post-secondary follow-up status. We hit over 97.1% of our graduating students that met this criteria, and that is a great thing to see for your district. So go to the next slide. So this one I'm going to stay on for a little bit. That'll give you a little break back there. This one is schools at the center of our work. You've probably heard, or maybe your principals have shared, that that's kind of really a piece I just keep saying. From the cabinet agenda that we meet on usually Monday morning, to every time I meet with the school principals or department chairs, they're hearing me talk about schools at the center of our work. And what does that mean when I say schools at the center of our work? And let me tell you, when we do a cabinet agenda, it's usually my agenda, but they get to do hot topics at the end. So I give them a one-on-one meeting where that's theirs. But it starts with the schools. And right at the very beginning of our discussion, I want to know about you. I want to know where there's any concerns. I want to know the celebrations. I want to know where support should be. I want to understand what's happening in your world, because how I've led for the past 9 years in another district, it became the support for the schools was our driving work. It's not the support that you all support us at CO. It's our job. We exist because of you. So the mindset is there, right? So I changed the org chart, which many of you saw, and I moved some things around, and Dr. Plater agreed to go up for me and take on schools because Dr. Latham, having 22 schools, there's no way the support could be where it needed to be. According to research, one principal supervisor of schools should have no more than 10, and they're both pushing 11. And what we're doing is the goal for me is that every school will be visited every week by your principal supervisor, and they'll be in your building at least an hour to 90 minutes, so 60 to 90 minutes. So we're going to get in there, and we're going to help you and provide and find the resources that we're lacking, see how we can support you in what you're doing, and build those relationships between central office and the schools. Once we get in and get wheels up, one thing that I do is I do an executive extended cabinet. And what that looks like is we come and do a cabinet visit in one of your buildings, and I will bring the whole team and my extended. We will visit classrooms first, and then we'll hold our cabinet meetings second. And I line that up. So Greg McGee will be visiting with facilities there, walking the building, talking about what's going on. Someone else may be visiting with the nurse and talking and working through that. The family liaison, working and talking through that while we're in classrooms, observing, learning, and listening. Because when I talk about relationships and I talk about schools at the center, the first step or the first level is getting us in the schools every week. The second step is what I call learning walks. And these learning walks are not for us to evaluate you, but to learn from you to make sure that the resources, the curriculum aligns with the curriculum resources. Are there additional supports that need to be in place for technology? what's going on in the classroom and how do we make good better? How do we learn what we believe we're pushing out is effective? Because there's two real critical pieces here that are going to move our students from that 34%. And let me tell you, when I got to my last district 9 years ago, they were sitting around 43, 46%. When I left, my lowest school was at 62%. Independence is at no different. Those children here are the same children at the same poverty rates, with the same issues, with the same invisible backpack that Mr. Mondane spoke about that we have. And we rallied around, and we bought in, and we decided we were going to provide opportunities for our students to achieve more than they ever dreamed. That when I left, over 300 kids daily could be on a college campus before they graduated from high school. That's the momentum we're going to get. And we need you, but to get you where you need to be, we got to learn from you and see where you are and how we can do things better at ISD. And that's a goal. So the next one is about the strong culture. Now I'm going to be real a little bit. I've kind of looked at discipline. I've kind of looked at referrals. I've looked at a few things. And I know there's some things going on that I need to support you and figure out for you. I know that there's some things about engaging kids, and I know that there are some students that are going to come with challenging behaviors. I know that. You remember, I've also been an elementary principal. I worked middle school for 8 years, and then I did a high school. And one of the high schools, when the superintendent called and asked me to go there, he said, "We got 250 kids at least. When the bell rings, they don't go to class. They're always late and in the hallways." I said, "Well, that dog won't hunt. We won't do that. So we're going to get them in." And so when they got off the bus the first day, I told the staff, I said, "We're going to put them in the auditorium." And the staff said, "Oh, no, 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 no." I said, "Oh, yeah, put them on in there. Get them in there. I got this." I was a lot younger then, too, right? And so getting in and setting that standard and doing that culture, it is tough. But you know what I found? When we could engage them and we could provide them with the opportunities that they could believe they could achieve more, and I built those relationships, they turned that corner for me. And that's what we want to do here. Let's turn that corner. Let's get them where they need to be. So some of you like to do some research. So I'm going to ask you to research something for me. Safe and civil schools. After COVID hit, my principals and even my teachers, they would say, "Our behavior is different, Dr. Mello. It's not the same." Even kindergarten teachers, "You don't understand, them kindergartners coming in, they can't even sit down. I don't know what's going on." So I said, let's get a work group together and let's look and see what's going on out there. And we researched safe and civil schools. And I'm going to ask a few schools to pilot in the spring and us look at this. It does two things, so there's a two approach. First is your foundation, which is your large mass gathering places. For elementary, it's things like when you go to the cafeteria, when you transition to restrooms, when you go outside and come in from the playground. What's behavior look like on the playground, and how do we transition back? How do they enter from the buses, and how do they load from the end? In middle school and high school, it's what happens when the bell rings. How are they dismissed from class, and how do they get out into the hallways? What happens as we transition to lunchroom and they come back from lunchroom? Those are the things. At high school, it's the same thing. We're looking for where are the mass gathering spaces and what's occurring there. And then the second level is what happens when you get in the classroom, and what does that look like? And how are we structuring? Because if we all get in sync, and there's high mobility, which I came from high mobility, and I hear we have high mobility here. Whether I'm at Blackburn or Southern, wherever I walk in, we're doing the same thing. And they walk in knowing these are our expectations. This is what we're going to do. Because when you teach the expectations, and we do it in a positive manner, children will respond. Now, it may take me a while. I remember I went out to an elementary school, and it was not a pleasant place to be, but they couldn't find someone, so I told the superintendent, I'll go. I went out, and I will tell you, it took me about 7 days to get them all in a room and sitting down so they could. I walked the hallways, I said, oh my goodness, somebody's teaching, right? But by the end of that school year, if I walked to that cafeteria, you know what the 7th graders would yell? Who runs the school? Morello. It was an expectation. I had them on buses. I took them on field trips. Everybody downtown saying, oh, Lord, you can't take those kids. I said, yes. but it is expectations, and students like structure, whether we believe it or not, because you know what, in structure, I'm safe. I know what the rules are. I know where they're going to call me on it. So relationship and culture is something we will work on. It may take us a year or so, but I promise you, we watched our discipline referrals go this way. We watched suspensions go this way. We watched our achievement go this way. And that's where we want to go in ISD. That's exactly where we want to be, right there. So collective capacity, I really want to see you guys begin to come together and have a voice. Even as I'm looking at different I won't give that away yet because I'm not there yet. I still got to meet with elementary principals today. But even as I'm looking at change, I need principal voice in the room and I need teacher voice in the room. So let me tell you how I'm going to get teacher voice. I have what I call a superintendent roundtable. And in my superintendent roundtable, each building gets to vote, not principal selected, but you get to vote on one teacher you'd like to represent you. They become your liaison. They become your voice. Then I meet with them one time a month, and they come in. I create an agenda from what we do it collectively, and their voice is your voice, and they bring in. So what I usually allow is I think it's noon the day before the meeting, and we won't meet on weekends. Dr. Marilla needs her weekends. I need to recoup. So we got to do an evening, right? So we will come in and do just an hour. I try to keep it to an hour because I know we're all busy. And we'll look at agenda items. But before then, you get to submit your questions from your buildings. What you're worried about, what you're concerned about, what you'd like more information about. Your liaison, your rep, will be the person that sends that information. They're going to send it to my admin. She's going to push it out to the cabinet. And then we will be there that evening to meet with you. I will also use this team to help with our school calendar, even though we have a calendar committee. I know that. But I need another set of eyes. I need teacher voice. If we're going to move the district, I need you. Just as much as you need me to support you, I need you to support me and help me find my blind spots. Help us. And then finally, better student outcomes. Let me tell you, I'm an old coach. I like to win. I know Cassidy's in this auditorium, and he'll say, yeah, she did. Cassidy was my coach for me when I was at Coronado Middle School in KCK a long time ago. And then he went up and took Sligo High School when I left there. And I always thought I'd be a coach. And I remember I was at Sligo, and my husband was bringing in Tori and Brandon. And they were just ripping and roaring. When Tori hit inside Sligo, she thought she owned the school, and Willie's trying to catch her and hold on to her. And I felt like the room kind of went dark, and I thought, oh my gosh, because I'm traveling, I want to be a college coach, and what am I doing here? Is this the right move for my family? And I felt like inside I heard kind of a voice tell me, you can still coach and win, but I'm going to move you over into another area. And that's when I entered administration. And when I talk about winning, you know what winning is for me? Winning is seeing students achieve. Winning is seeing teachers find value and seeing them take those students to the next level. Winning is seeing our students feel really proud about representing our schools. Winning is seeing the band that we saw today and the students that came out of every one of the high school. Winning is seeing how proud our cheerleaders were. That's winning. Winning is what we do for the lives of children. So I may not be able to put a scoreboard up anymore and watch the clock tick down, even though I'm going to be in your schools. And I think I left you with a pretty good coach. Tori's going to coach at Truman High School this year. She's going to do a little basketball for me. And she's helping with volleyball. Tori was a college coach and left the coaching ranks and now works at the NAIA headquarters downtown. So we found out she might be available. So we recruited a little bit. I think a couple of people showed up at church to help recruit. I'm just kidding. No, but they really did come to church. And but it is now about how do we make good better? How do we help our students really achieve? And you know what you got to do? As a coach, I got to look at my players and believe they can achieve. I got to look at them and believe they really can get better at the skill they have. And I can build on that one skill. And whether it's in football, cross country, volleyball, basketball, whether it's wrestling, it's knowing your players and what they need. And as classroom teachers, as support staff, as all of you that really wrap your arms around students every day, it's knowing the students and what they need. And how do you help move them? How do you remove the obstacles so that they can learn and grow and become successful? Because my belief is, which we're going to get down this road, is that every one of our students is not only going to graduate with a high school diploma, but they're going to graduate with a second credential or an associate's or some type of market value asset. That's my goal, because when they graduate, I want them to know, if you saw that one slide, there's two things that really pierced my heart when I saw the data. This one was most important, that almost 40% of our students just go to work. They go to an entry-level job. We're going to change that. We're going to change independence. We're going to change the community. We're going to do some things that really bring us back and put that back, because what my goal was in my prior district was it was such high poverty, they didn't believe their kids could go to college. They didn't believe they could achieve. And pretty soon, I didn't have to sell the message. My community sold it. When I walked into an Optimist Club to speak, they'd start standing up telling my story. And that's where we want to be here. We're going to do great things for kids. We're going to work together. We're going to support each other. And we're going to rally and have such a great year. I cannot wait. I can't wait to get in your schools, and I'm giving him a little clue. Go ahead and click that next slide for me. There we go. I can't wait to get into your classrooms, get into the buildings, see how things feel. I may not be there as much as I want to. Last year, because I only had 16 buildings, it was my goal to see every building on the first week. With all of y'all, it may take me longer than the first week, but I will see you before the end of before we get back in the middle of Labor Day or right after. So together, I'm gonna tell y'all, we can and we will achieve more. So I want you to have a great year, and I'll see you all again soon. Thank you very much.